Let's talk about niches. What is a good niche? What constitutes a good niche? Everybody thinks the money is in the sexy niches. All these niches that nobody's thought of. I have made my money in the boring niches. I don't care how boring it is. I don't care how dull it is, because you know what's not boring is getting that Stripe notification that I made another couple $1,000 and I haven't even done any work this morning. That's sexy. But here's the criteria for choosing the right niche. Anything that I speak on, any advice that I give is going to come from firsthand experience. Number one criteria, it needs to be either high ticket or almost 100% profit margin. So let me give you an example. High ticket, I would consider concrete high ticket, right? 2,000 and up. A low ticket with a high margin would be a duct cleaning, right? Duct cleaning, $500, $700, maybe $1,000. However, the margins on duct cleaning are sick. They are like 99%. You just have to pay for labor. And if you're a one-man band or you're selling to a one-man band, they're making a high margin on those. I don't mind a duct cleaning because of that. I would rather choose the concrete, but the duct cleaning also fits the bill. So number one is high ticket or almost 100% profit. Number two, it is not a storefront, and therefore it is a phone-driven business. Meaning, when you are getting this service, you have them come to your home to give you a quote, like concrete. I don't know about you guys, but I've never gone to somebody's house that pours concrete and looked at some of the work they've done because they have a showroom with pictures. Never, ever, ever have I done that. Every single time when I extended my pool deck, I called a bunch of companies and I said, hey, I need a quote. That's it. They came to my house. I didn't care what truck they drove. I didn't care when they showered last. I didn't care about their education. I cared that I got a good price and they seemed trustworthy to me and they knocked it out. Those are the niches we can make loads of freaking money. Now, again, there's always going to be exceptions to these rules. So for those three of you that are going to watch this and disagree with me, I know, but I'm speaking with broad strokes here. Number three, you want to go into niches that do not have brand loyalty. The more brand loyalty there is, the harder it's going to be, because we are building websites that are of a generic nature that we own, we control, that we sell the leads off of. We don't use the business and their brand to advertise. We use a generic website. We use a unbranded website. So for example, if you were trying to generate leads for let's say a med spa, would this business model work? Yes, in theory it would work, and you would probably get some leads. But think about it, guys. If you're going to get injected with Botox or something that's going to affect your lips or your face, something like that people are going to see that you're very self-conscious about, aren't you going to check the reviews? Aren't you going to ask for a referral? Aren't you going to want to go to somebody that's not going to screw it up? And therefore, you are going to look at an unbranded site and go, that's kind of weird. I've never heard of this company. The more branded it is, the harder it is to generate leads. One of the reasons why I believe assisted living, which I tried to generate leads in assisted living, we did generate leads because, again, you can generate leads in any niche with this business model. But there are levels to how successful you'll be. I generated leads with home security systems. I did. And actually, I sent them to a guy that closed a couple deals, but it wasn't such that I could do it month in and month out and make the numbers work. I've made way more money in concrete and tree service and duct cleaning than I ever made in assisted living, than I ever made in solar, even though those are more sexy. No brand loyalty. And one thing you're going to find out is there can be niches that are too high of margin. And what I mean by that is when you get into companies like roofing companies and solar companies where they make a ton of money, what happens is they make so much money, they have the money to pay for the marketing and the signs and the trucks and the ads and the storefronts and the TV and the radio. And now we become branded. And now it becomes more and more difficult to generate those leads. So I do not like anything that is has brand loyalty. I like unbranded niches. And lastly, every niche is going to be seasonal to some degree. I don't care what you're doing. There's going to be some seasonality. There's going to be times it does better, times it does worse. It's just part of the game. So we just want to look for niches that are the least seasonal as possible. That also includes cities, because you can go into concrete in Minnesota, or you can go to concrete in freaking Tallahassee, Florida. I'd way rather do the Tallahassee if everything else matches up because of the weather. So everything's going to be seasonal. What you need to look at is what are the ones that are not super seasonal, and how do I pick markets that are not super seasonal?